This is Alireza Firouzja. He's the king of chess fashion and also the world's #2 blitz chess player. So when he gets absolutely smashed in 31 moves, we've got to check out the guy who can do such a thing. And it's this young man, 18 years old, Denis Lazavik. Now he just beat Magnus Carlsen in this same event, late title Tuesday, 25th of March. Online blitz cheese at its finest. Then he beat Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, the strongest French player ever, not counting Alireza, who was born in Iran, moved to France, and now he comes on to Alireza here. This is an absolute shocker, but not as shocking as the fact that this channel has somehow stumbled its way past 100,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for your support down the years. I'm not going to make too much of a big song and dance, but it really is appreciated. About 4 years I've been doing this now. My wife's absolutely loving it, of course, when I disappear off to make a video, but it's great to have grown the community, seen all of the support in the comments, and so many people still loving that epic, stinky, crumbly cheese. So thank you very much. Now on to this game here. Alireza was playing black. Denis kicks off with pawn d4.
The same missed.
And after knight f6, c4, g6, don't tell me. The banana hammock built, this one on the board, no Grunfeld, but a king's Indian defense. Alireza walking in the footsteps of giants. It's always exciting when you see this on the board. You give white the center, d6, bishop e2, castles, and the idea is that you're going to then strike from afar, even though you've given up all the space. Now you could glide on past with the pawn. It's just a different variation. Castles is more common though. Alireza now puts the knight on the edge. Is he really a grandmaster or a very naughty boy? Well, he's headed for the c5 square. He sees that this tension's soon going to be relinquished. Now we see bishop e3, and you could go knight g4, c6 here, or something wacky if you're feeling really funky. But queen e7 was played. Bit of a weird looking move because although there's pressure here, Denis now changes the structure, pawn recaptures, and he pops a pony in the center of the board, turning it into a stallion, and you don't really want to capture, not an ideal pawn structure. So Alireza, he just drops back. He's like, come at me, bro. I'm world #2. Show me something. Denis goes queen c2, preparing to bring the rooks. Now knight g4. And surely you go bishop g5 or bishop d2. You know, the top grandmothers, they love to hold on to this bishop pair here. But we just see rook a d1, take my bishop. Alireza does so. This knight recaptures, and now he sidesteps with the queen onto a light square. This one looking more natural, definitely playable, but okay, he's looking to bounce out. This pawn pushes on now. Great move, freeing up this square for the minor pieces. Also, this one's a bit stuck, right? However, this is Alireza's point. He hits the queen. Denis doesn't blunder it. What a guy. And after the knight is attacked, defended, attacked, we now see Alireza go wrong here. His best move is knight c6. Or you could flick in some stuff with this and then put the knight back. But after this, you know, you're headed for this central square. Pawn's covered at the moment. Game goes on. But instead, we see this one coming back to the edge of the board. Very stinky boo-boo, because now the pawn's covered and you're playing with fire. You know, where's this knight headed? What kind of circuit is it on? If you ever do this, trying to reroute, well then you will massively weaken this square. So we see queen c6 played, targeting the pawn, but it's simply defended with the rook. Now a4 clamps on the b pawn, ready to go en croissant if that one ever pushes. And Denis now centralizes and he threatens this massive fork. You have to do something about it. Now the Stockness monster wants this sidestep with the king, right? Get out the forking way. Alireza, however, covers with the rook. I mean, it looks really harsh to give this the double question marks of doom. Apparently this is a great move. En croissant, queen captures, and white's doing really well, mainly because this knight's a problem. You know, queen b4 is good. You're threatening bishop b5 stuff. There's just big development problems, pin issues, etc. So That was the way to go, b4 apparently, but missed. Instead, this rook gets brought to the center. This is a nice move to kick this one off the c file, and now you should capture that pawn. It's simply the way to go. Maybe there was something about this that Alireza didn't like. The all-powerful engine finds this crazy line, queen takes, but then you fork, this sort of thing. You're actually better to not take that because of b6, but this is better. Line goes on, and this is some kind of balance apparently, despite being an exchange down. Black's launching an attack. Okay, we come back to the actual game because Alireza did not touch the pawn. He played bishop g4, but it's actually a big mistake, a tactical issue. But just before we jump into it, a big thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Chessbook, and it's not any old sponsor. I've been working with these guys for like a year and a half now, using Chessbook myself for like 2 years. It's an excellent one-stop shop opening repertoire tool, but not only can you build your repertoire in the app itself, but it actually connects to your lead chess and your chess.com. So it brings in your games, it's already got your repertoire ready to go, then you can practice your moves, and as you play the games right, it brings in the new data. So you constantly see where you're going wrong, you get feedback, you rehearse the moves, but not mindlessly. It's got these features built in, so it actually shows you the themes of the position, where you should put the pieces, why you should put the pieces there, with narrative, right? Like a mini grandmaster next to you, and it's cheap. You know, it's only like a cup of coffee a month, nothing insane on the price there. Really nice tool, been using it for ages. Have a look down at the link in the description. You know the drill, try it out, skyrocket your rating with this one. Now let's get back to this game here, because after bishop g4, the tactical shot, well done if you saw this move, it's knight takes on e5, and you hit the queen but also open up the tension here between the bishops. So after rook takes, this is now the point you take back like that. This pawn does drop. Yes, you could take off the queens and be better here, but actually the best is queen takes on a4, because you're setting up nasty tactical pressure down here. And if you go c6, which looks quite nice, preparing knight c7, once this guy disappears, well then there's knight f6 check, king goes, and knight d7. That's a fork, very embarrassing, and therefore you're about to lose the game. So this is why Alireza sidesteps with the king, and before he can actually now re-coordinate the pieces, Denis smashes forward and he forces the blunder. You know, what should you do? Well, queen a7 or queen f8, best moves, simply to reconnect with this loose piece. They drop off, as they say, loose pieces, but queen d6 was played here. It's a big mistake because simply you can push with b5. Although Alireza, he just had no time. What to do now? Everything's dropping. He desperately tries pawn c6. You take my knight, I take yours. But now there's the crusher, knight b6. Hits the queen, hits the rook. We see takes on b5, hitting the white queen. A swap of the ladies, takes back here, knight takes on a8, and although you can take the pawn here, don't blunder your bishop, it drops back, g3, it's just not enough. White's an entire rook ahead here. That's all she wrote. Alireza really just needs to get back to the bathtub after this game, scatter the Uno deck across the water, go back to his roots on the preparation, because this was crushing. 31 moves, and Denis Lazavik went on to win the whole tournament. Do have a look down in the description at Chessbook. Improve that opening repertoire. It's an awesome tool, and check out the video on screen if you want to see some more epic chess. Cheers.